Hi, and thank you so much for being here. So in this video, I want to show you what I consider to be true hidden gems of Toronto. Some of them are restaurants, some of them are just places, some of them are parks. But what I think unites them all together is that they're not particularly really well known, but they should be. Let's get right into it. So we're gonna start off our gem list with the Kensington Parking Lot, but before I head right into it, I just want to say that these gems are perfect for tourists or locals alike. And by the way, most of these gems are of course in Toronto. They're fairly close to each other. I'm trying to group them in this video together so that you can do them kind of together. And down below, I'm gonna post a link to a Google map that I set up specifically for this video with all of these 22 hidden gems that you can just check out and use when you're walking the city. So to get into this parking lot, go to Baldwin Street, which is in Kensington. You will see the green pea sign, the circular green pea sign, and you need to go up. I think this is on the 4th floor. It's kind of dingy looking staircase, but once you get there, there was no cars on the 4th floor. I guess it's not a really well-used parking lot during the weekday, and here's the view onto the city. Definitely very beautiful. You have the whole downtown right in front of you. I think this is perfect, of course, if you're a tourist, if you just want a really nice, pretty picture with the city, or if you're not a tourist and you want a pretty picture with the city. And I love over here Toronto Pride graffiti. And this is how it looks looking down. But again, lots of space. You can walk around a little bit here. Love the graffiti too. They kind of do the whole make the ambience more interesting. There's a Kensington sign. It's of course reversed because it's supposed to be looked at from the street level. Anyway, really cool. Not a lot of people know about this. And Gem 2, it's literally also on Baldwin Street, right as you were entering, is the Takoyaki, which is this cool octopus place. I've had it a number of times. It is closed Tuesday and Wednesday. Over here are the hours, and here's me trying it. I think there were 2 flavors that she put on top. It was so yummy and just kind of true, authentic Kensington experience in my opinion. But of course, Kensington Market has so many other amazing food places. So next up we have the 401 Richmond Courtyard, which is our gem number 3. It's a gallery and you can get in there from the intersection of Spadina and Richmond, and over here you will see on the 1st floor, you just kind of go straight, you'll see it right away. It's a really beautiful courtyard. You can over here, I used to have lunches here, you can sit and just enjoy, but I love the greenery. It definitely is more beautiful during the summertime, but I think it could be cool any time of the year really. And you have this beautiful staircase, which by the way you can go up on. And it's just a really pretty place full of greenery. Again, I've never really heard anybody talk about this place ever. I used to work in the area, hence why I know it. And the gallery for Richmond is actually very nice too. Walk around it, there are a few floors, and it's pretty cool. And just to let you know, I have released a really fun book. It's called Free or Almost Free Ontario Destinations, with lots of cool information and some really awesome road trips. And now that we are heading into the fall, I also have a very similar book about road trips in Ontario in the fall and winter time. And of course, both of these books are going to be linked down below. Next up, we have the Half House. This is not a far walk for 401 Richmond, where we just were, and it's sort of where AGO is, and it's literally half of the house. If you put into Google Maps, Half House, you will see it. So the really quick history, if you search for it, is there were a row of houses. I think there was about 6 of them, and each house comprised of 2 units, but one owner of this one particular house has decided to sell, leaving the predicament of maintaining only half of the final house. And with some impressive demolition skills, one side of the house was removed, surprisingly leaving the final half in good condition. Really good demolition skills and luck. I love, by the way, over here walking the Queen Street, how you have the older houses in contrast with all of the new condos that are going up. I think it's beautiful. Number 5 gem, Osgood Hall. This is an interesting one because theoretically it's not really publicly open, but you can go in during only 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, not on the weekend. You can go in and ask to visit and see the space. There's also a library, which is also gorgeous. You cannot film in there, you cannot walk in there unless you're a law student. I also have asked, and they did let me go to check it out. I didn't film in there because just out of respect. So basically, yes, it's one of those things. If you ask nicely, they will let you in to check it out. But theoretically, no, this is not a fully public open space. And another way, of course, to check this place out with kind of no worries is the doors open, which usually happens at the end of May each year. Most of the time, Osgood Hall is part of it, and you can have kind of walk through, and I think there are tours also when the doors open are happening. Up next, we're heading to the Nathan Phillips Square and, of course, the Toronto signs. For tourists or locals alike, we love that sign. It's a beautiful sign. But what nobody seems to know is that there is actually kind of like a second level over here where you have the snacks. You go up and there is just free to enter, completely free to enter. And you have your second level, and that's where a lot of people take photos and video, whatever you want to do, and it's just less kind of crowds because of course it's a bit of a challenge when there's a lot of people, especially on the weekend. Oh my goodness, there's so many people taking photos. Peace Garden is kind of at the back of where the City Hall is. There is a eternal flame over here, and there's also a beautiful kind of fountain slash pool. I was just actually shocked that when I started researching for this video, I never knew that this garden existed. This is actually a really historic and very important garden. As I understand, was built in 1984. The leader of this garden was Father Macy Lombardi, and he actually traveled to Hiroshima to meet the mayor of the Hiroshima back then and kind of informed the mayor of the Toronto project that he is trying to create. And really this park, this whole effort is about the abolition of nuclear weapons. Beautiful benches just to relax. You can have lunch here, picnics. And there's of course the beautiful backdrop of the skyscrapers. Gem number 7 is the Commerce Court Square. Over here just kind of walking from the Nathan Phillips Square, not very far. A gorgeous pool slash fountain that is a circle, and in contrast to this beautiful fountain and the skyscrapers, we have this gorgeous sculpture of a mother elephant with 2 little babies. The name of the sculpture is Tembo, Mother of Elephants by Derek S. Hudson. It is made out of bronze. And by the way, check out the ears. Fun fact, the ears of the elephant are sort of like our fingerprints. They are different each time. Just in general, love this little park. Plenty of places over there to sit and relax, including some Muskoka chairs. Just great little space. Up next, we have the CIBC Square Park. Now, I don't know when exactly this opened, but in my opinion, this is the newest thing that is in this video. The way you get to it is a bit complicated. From Union Station, you need to go under the Gardner Highway, and then you need to go up to, I think, about 4th floor. You can either take the elevator or you can take a bunch of escalators. Take the elevator, it's just faster. And right away you will see, this is Deneen Coffee. By the way, one of my favorite coffee joints in Toronto. There's about maybe 5 locations. And their flat whites, oh my gosh, are so good. Like their coffee beans, I don't know what they're using. It's amazing. Highly recommend Deneen Coffee just in general. But they have a little venue over here. Very pretty too, by the way. And then you enter this park. And yeah, this is pretty much Union Station. You have the trains, you have the most gorgeous view of the CN Tower, you have insane amount of different benches to just relax, and then you have tables also to have lunch or picnic. There was a couple over there with a photographer taking photos of their engagement on the backdrop of the beautiful CN Tower and the skyline of Toronto. And there is a really cool silver tree. I don't know how to describe it. It's a sculpture of a really shiny silver tree. And over here, I think this is some kind of bee slash bug garden. I've seen a few of them, and you're allowed to open it up and see if there's anybody. This is looking so new that I don't think the bugs have yet moved in. I just kept looking up at the skyscrapers, and it's so peaceful, but at the same time you're kind of reminded that you're in the middle of a large and busy metropolis, including the trains over here. So it's a very nice juxtaposition, if you will, of quietness and loudness. And here's the other view where the GO trains are kind of going out. This is facing east. So I just wanted to quickly pop in and suggest that you subscribe to my channel. Only 6% of people who actually watch me subscribe to me, which I find so fascinating. Thank you so much for watching. But please do subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, hopefully soonish. And not very far from the CIBC Park is just gem number 9, Pier 27. 1 Young Street is the actual address, and over here when you get to 1 Young Street, the very beginning of Young Street, you will see a bunch of food trucks. Over here is the T-Dot taxi, which I thought was adorable because they even have swings over there. This is, I think, a way to get to the islands. And I'm, by the way, totally for taking a taxi, water taxi, to get to the islands. It's a little more expensive, but the lineups are much shorter and it's a much more pleasant experience versus the ferry. And over here is kind of the condo structure. I love that chunk of the condos that go across. How cool is that architecture? But this is what I wanted to show you. This is the hidden gem, these beautiful white sculptures. The name of these are a series of whirlpool field maneuvers for Pier 27 by Alice Aycock. Alice is a world-renowned sculptor and her work are all over New York, Tokyo, and many other global cities. My understanding of what she was trying to express here is essentially the weather. So it goes from almost like human height sculpture, there are 4 of them, and it goes larger, larger, and larger, and ending with the Toronto Twister over there at the end. Just a really cool series of sculptures in a very beautiful park near the water. So the number 10 gem is a coffee robot that is located in Muji. Muji is located very close to Dundas and Yonge intersection. Over here is Google Maps. It's sort of across from H&M over here. And this is a Japanese store. It is on 2 levels. And on the 2nd level, there is a really cool robot that makes your drinks. You order everything over there on the pad, you put your, credit card, whatever, you pay for it, and then you see the process happen, which is so fascinating. Everything is kind of mixed and, done as if a barista would be doing it, except that, yeah, it's done by a robot, and it's so much fun to see other people's drinks also, not just your own. And over here you see the circles, and your name is gonna pop up over there, and that's where the robot is gonna place your drink. Very cool thing. Definitely not a lot of people know about this, and amazing to check out. Gem number 11 is the John Fluevog Shoes Room. So John Fluevog is originally from Vancouver, and he's a very creative shoe designer. Over here are some of the shoes that you can purchase from the store. The store that I'm talking about, I think there are a number of them. There is one in Distillery, but this store is on Queen. Of course, the location is going to be down below. And they actually in the store have the secret room where everything is turned on its side. So you have the couch and a bit of a library, and the shoes over there glued to the side of the wall. Typically it's open, and if it's not, you can request somebody who works in the store if they could open it for you. Up next we have the White Elephant. This is located in Seaton Village, which is sort of DuPont and Christie intersection. It's actually very easy to miss because it's kind of in between the trees, but it's a big white elephant. I think this was a project, somebody's project for OCAD, which is Ontario College of Art and Design, and it's just kind of permanently over there. Very cool to check out, totally random, totally a gem of Toronto. Up next we have another gem. These are Leslieville Dollhouse. Actually this house recently went on sale, so there might be changes to the house, but currently it is still outfitted with tons and tons of dolls. It's a little chaotic, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little spooky in parts for sure, but it is cool to check out, and it's fairly well known in Toronto. And by the way, in Google Maps you can type in Leslieville Dollhouse and it will pop up. The gem number 14 is the Little Dollhouse Company. This is actually not that far from the Leslieville Dollhouse, but it's completely different. It is an amazing store that is all about miniatures. So they have a number of houses that you can actually custom make if you would like to, or you can purchase a pre-made house, and then they have an insane amount of miniatures that you can purchase to put into your dollhouse. Over here, by the way, is a section where they build the houses. You can select the finishing, you can select the staircase. Over here you can see the inside of it. So fascinating. When I was there, I think I spent about 2 hours just like looking at so many things and just appreciating it. Like, how cool is this? This is inside of a little house. This is of course not a cheap hobby. This is fairly expensive because this is custom made, meticulous work. But I'm definitely very happy that Toronto has such skilled people and there's still interest in miniatures because I think it's a really beautiful art form. They even have little tiny bags like Chanel bags over here that you can put into your dollhouse and just anything in the world. Like over here is a McDonald's tray, a chicken. This was very hard to film because it's so tiny. These are actually macaroons. And just so many adorable things such as over here martini glasses, Subway sandwiches. Honestly, anything miniature you can or possibly want, you will find it here. So the gem number 15 is Toronto Reference Library. I was there just recently doing my research about kind of vintagey Toronto photos. By the way, there's a whole video about historic facts about Toronto. I'm just gonna link it over here in the corner. And I had so much fun. First of all, the library is gorgeous, totally free to enter, and most days I think it's open till about 8 p.m. Do check online for the hours. It is slightly remodeled, at least not what I remember from the time I was there before, many years ago. Love the desks over here, very kind of space agey, and I love the little cubicles that are all glass for some quiet time. And overall, I always enjoy going to the library. I love books, of course. What is on the 5th floor right now, this is August of 2024, is Arthur Conan Doyle collection. There's a whole room styled as Sherlock Holmes' study, has books you can pull off the shelf and read. If you're into Sherlock Holmes, this is definitely a very interesting experience and definitely quite the gem. Gem 16 is the Alexander Muir Memorial Gardens. Love this garden. This is on the intersection of Lawrence and Yonge. It's not really well known because it's fairly kind of hidden park. I love going here in every season. This was, by the way, filmed in the springtime. It had so many beautiful blooms. So often when I'm in this park, I see a lot of wedding photography because, again, it's just so pretty. I've been here when I was just wanting to read a book. I've done picnics here. Typically, there are very few people here, lots of street parking in the area. Just a really lovely park. So for our gem number 17 is the Himalayan Coffee House. This is actually very close to the Alexander Muir Park that we were just at. It's kind of in between Eglinton and Lawrence on Yonge. And the unique thing about this gem, it's truly a gem, is that they draw pretty much anything you want onto your coffee. It's so cute. We requested a Cheshire cat and a car, like road trips. Those were, by the way, matcha lattes. They were so good and it was such a fun experience and not very pricey. Gem number 18 is Govindas. This is a Indian temple, but this is a section of it. This is not the actual temple. This is kind of like the restaurant section. It's on Avenue Road, and it has really beautiful atmosphere. And this is a vegetarian restaurant. The price of it wasn't very expensive. I want to say something under $20. And by the way, we just walked in, no need for reservations. Very lovely Indian food in a very beautiful atmosphere. Gem number 19 is Nans Gelato. They have about 5 locations all over Toronto. What's unique about this place are their flavors. For example, Indian chai gelato, saffron, Vietnamese coffee, sweet and spicy, salted dark chocolate chip. It just so many options. When I was there, the owner was there and he was so lovely. He told me everything about the place and let me sample things. I got 2 different types. I remember one was strawberry, the other one I think was saffron. And oh my gosh, it tasted so good, so smooth. Coming from somebody who is not a huge fan of ice cream, to single out an ice cream place and put it as one of the gems of Toronto, I think that tells you a lot. You have to check it out. Gem number 20 is the 6 Toes of Toronto Island. This is pretty hilarious because it is actually a cat. Yes, one of our gems is a cat. If you take a ferry to the Wards Island, over here we're actually taking the taxi, and first they stopped over at the Central Island. But if you get off at Wards Island, it's kind of closer. What you need to do is walk over to the Riviera Wards Island Kitchen, one of the very few restaurants on the Toronto Islands. And by the way, they are actually a great restaurant, but the gem is the cat. So the cat has 6 toes, as you can see over there. And he is so social. he's sometimes right outside of the restaurant, sometimes he's sitting inside. When we were here, it was raining, so he was all over us. We ordered over here the burger and the chicken burger. By the way, the food was excellent, but the cat was everywhere. He was really trying to, he, by the way, got shushed from the table, but it was so funny to us to just enjoy him anywhere we looked. Don't think he's the restaurant cat, but maybe he is. I'm not very sure. He's definitely very adorable and definitely a gem. Oh, and by the way, over here was the dessert. Yes, the restaurant is great. Don't remember what kind of dessert. All I remember is that the food was excellent. Not very cheap because this is Toronto Island. They need to bring food over here because, of course, it's further from the city. But the ambience definitely makes up for the price. Gem number 21 is Baked Goods. So this place is located midtown. This is roughly Bathurst and St. Clair. And it's in a very secluded place. You need to kind of take a back alley to get to it, and I think that's what makes it so unique and such a gem, is that it's not kind of in your face typical bakery. You literally need to search for it. But once you do, it looks very pretty, pinky, looks really nice. Here are the hours, and as soon as I got there, the window pulled up and she was sitting there ready to take my order. Lots of options over there. They have the healthy options such as smoothies, and then they have a bunch of baked goods. Over here, some cookies. Everything is just baked on the current day. I got this raspberry, I'm not sure what to call it, but it was so good. And then I got an acai smoothie. It was also excellent as well. I love the spread joy part over here. And then I was just kind of went around walking. The area is very gorgeous and it was such a nice experience. And by the way, if you have time, you can walk all the way to our gem number 22, which is the Spina Museum. Another gorgeous location that not a lot of people know about it. It's just kind of simply free to enter. The hours are kind of limited. I think they're from 11 to 5. Definitely check the hours online before heading there. But it's a beautiful vintage mansion and the grounds of it are free. And there's a really cool garden. You can go inside, but that's for an extra fee. So I hope you enjoyed this video. What did you think about all of my gems? And do you have any of the gems you would like to share down below? Please subscribe, like, and share, and check out my books. All of them are also going to be linked down below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.